Mortal Kombat 1 is getting new attacks in just 5 days, and I'm not just talking about Ermac. I know we're all excited to play him, but his recent trailer revealed that other characters are getting new attacks as well, including our boy Reptile, and you know what? He deserves it. But then on top of that, there's even more cool stuff to talk about, including a very popular fan rumor just getting confirmed. All that and more will be discussed in today's video, because another day means more Mortal Kombat 1 news. I'm covering it all the time on this channel, so if you want to stay up to date, then make sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss any future videos. And then after watching, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below. It helps the channel out a ton. And without any further ado, let's begin. Starting off with the new attacks, because NetherRealm put this right in front of our faces. They definitely wanted us to take note of this, because in Ermac's gameplay trailer, we see Reptile perform 2 completely different attacks, and there's a brand new universal attack revealed as well. So first up, let's talk about Reptile. Right here on screen, you can see him whiff his standing 3, and normally nothing happens when you whiff an attack. You can't even special cancel it, but check out Reptile, your boy goes invisible. This has never been possible before. Just in case any of you watching don't play Reptile, he only has one way to turn invisible, and it's a special move where he vomits goo onto himself, and the invisibility is not instant. It takes a second. But as you can see on screen, Reptile has a new way to turn invisible, but what I find interesting is he doesn't stay invisible for very long. It looks like he's doing his back forward 2 special move right when he turns visible again, and that's before he actually gets hit by Ermac. When I first watched the trailer, I thought he got hit and that made him turn visible, but no, he seems to turn visible pretty quickly. And that could be because he did a special move, maybe that exits out of the invisibility. I'm not sure yet, we're not going to know until the update. But even so, get excited, because the point is Reptile can now end combos with his standing 3 to gain invisibility much quicker than his EX special move, so that's really cool. Keep in mind, one of the main issues that people had with Reptile's gameplay is that Smoke was better at invisibility than he was. Smoke gets armor when he turns invisible, and it's also way easier to set up his invisibility, and it's faster as well. And that just never seemed fair to a lot of people, because Reptile is the king of invisibility in Mortal Kombat. In fact, he's one of the first fighting game characters to ever turn invisible. So the idea that he's just not the best at it feels a bit unfair. So I'm glad that NetherRealm listened and gave Reptile more than one way to turn invisible. But believe it or not, we're still not done talking about these new attacks, because check this out. Reptile's acid spit looks a bit different now. That's right, it appears to go much further now and also has a weird sphere inside of it as well, so it looks visually different too. Or in other words, Reptile got another buff. Now it's been a while since I've played Reptile, but I don't recall one of his issues being his projectiles. I think he's always been pretty good in that regard. But even so, having a fast projectile that covers the entire screen is always good to have. In fact, if any of you watching are Reptile mains, let me know in the comments what's his biggest weakness and what do you want to see him get in the new update? What do you want to see buffed? I'm honestly really curious, because even though Reptile was the very first character I made a guide for on this channel, it's been a long time since I've played him and I don't know how the meta has evolved. So once again, let me know your thoughts down below, grab that keyboard and make your voices heard, because next up it's time to talk about the universal mechanic. That's right. If you watch closely right here, it looks like Ermac does a flawless block and then instantly calls in his cameo to get the opponent off of him. Or in other words, it looks like NetherRealm has given us another defensive option, which is good. That's one of the main things a lot of players are complaining about. The offense in Mortal Kombat 1 is crazy with the cameo characters, the rushdown, tons of pressure, right? However, when it comes to defensive options and getting the opponent off you, you don't really have that many, and even if you do perfectly time your block, it doesn't lead to very much a lot of the time. So this new get off me tool seems really useful. And in fact, if any of you watching have played Mortal Kombat 11, then this feature should look very familiar, because it's very similar to the up 3 after a flawless block, which I think is great. I did enjoy Mortal Kombat 11's gameplay overall. I definitely did have some gripes with the game, but one thing I loved about Mortal Kombat 11 was all the different defensive options. So I'm glad that Mortal Kombat 1 is looking at the good aspects of Mortal Kombat 11 and adding it to itself. At a first glance, I don't think this get off me tool is going to be invincible like it was in Mortal Kombat 11, simply because there's not very much invincibility at all in Mortal Kombat 1. Instead, attacks get armor at the best. And as a result, I think this move is going to be armored and not invincible, but even so, as long as you have the health for it, that's still a decent option. Overall, I'm just happy the cameo characters are doing more stuff on defense. I love the combos and the pressure, don't get me wrong, but the combo breaker animation is so cool. I love how your cameo cameo character flies in and knocks the opponent off of you, and I get the same vibes from this flawless block mechanic, right? You block perfectly and your teammate goes, boom, get off my friend, get out of here, man. That's sick to me. I love that. More cameo defensive options is so sick. But next up, it's time for a very important question. Is there going to be a big balance update when Ermac finally drops? Every time we get a new DLC character, there's always an update of some kind. Sometimes it fixes the online, sometimes it adds new bugs and glitches, which is never fun, but in Ermac's case, I think we're going to get a lot of new stuff for existing characters. And if that does turn out to be the case, I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Which characters do you think need some buffs the most? Which characters do you think need some new attacks the most? If I'm gonna be honest, I think Natara needs a little something something. I still love playing as this character, but when it comes to zoning and counter zoning, it's not the most fun. Her air dash doesn't really go that far in my opinion, and I really do wish she had more safe options to approach the opponent. She has the cool dive kick that launches, but it's super unsafe on block. She has the flying tackle attack, but again, it's unsafe on block. So I think Natara needs some buffs in that aspect. Give me more ways to get in, and more importantly, more ways to get in safely. And just make the character more safe in general. Just give her Peacemaker's teleport, why not? Have her fly off screen, and then come down above the opponent, and make her safe on block, just like Omni-Man and Peacemaker, why not? I love playing Peacemaker, don't get me wrong, but why does he have better air mobility than the literal vampire lady with giant dragon wings? Like, what's going on here? And also, why not give her a projectile of some kind? I mean, for Pete's sake, her invasion boss had the air fireball where she spits blood at you. That's a classic attack from the 3D era. Why not give us that move? That would be pretty good for counter zoning. Maybe if you spend a bar, it's plus on block. That could be really sick. I'm just saying, there's more stuff that Natara could have. And then of course, we have to talk about Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Both of these characters can be made pretty strong with the right cameo partners, but that being said, they should be solid on their own as well, right? So I think Sub-Zero and Scorpion need a little something extra as well. Maybe better frame data, some new strings, make them a bit faster, and in Sub-Zero's case, remove the gaps in his strings, he just has too many. I still think he's fun to play, don't get me wrong. I have a really good win ratio with Sub-Zero, but even so, he could definitely use a little bit of help. And the same is true for Scorpion, right? Give him a little something extra. Yeah, he's good with the right cameo partner, but also, shouldn't he be decent on his own like a lot of other characters are? I was playing Ashura recently, and she is such a power trip. She doesn't need the cameo. She's crazy good on her own, and I kinda wish more characters were also solid on their own. As you all know, I love making these videos interactive, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you want a really big update and balance patch for Mortal Kombat 1? And if you do, which characters do you think deserve some new attacks or some buffs in that regard? Like I keep saying in all my videos, I truly do read each and every comment, so grab that keyboard and make your voices heard. Because now finally, it's time to talk about that really popular fan theory for Mortal Kombat 1 that has seemingly been confirmed by this post on Twitter. A big shout out to MK Habit Addict. MK1 vinyls on sale April 12th. And as you can see down below, these are officially sponsored by WB and NetherRealm. It's not just some fan project. Now for me personally, complete honesty, I've never been a huge music person. Yes, I love music, I just don't dissect it and enjoy it the same way I do other mediums like drawing or writing. But even so, I gotta admit, the soundtrack in Mortal Kombat 1 is pretty fire. It's pretty awesome, alright, so I might consider buying these just because the music is so good. Let me know in the comment section if any of you watching are big fans of vinyl records and just music fans in general. Who are the music lovers watching this video right now? But I want to talk about this poster in the top right, because this package has more than just vinyl records. It has some stickers, other stuff, but this poster, if we zoom in really closely on this poster in the top left, who is that? Is that Ermac? That looks like Ermac on the base roster. So could this mean that the rumors were true and Ermac was originally going to be on the base roster, but there wasn't enough time to finish him? Someone's car alarm's going off. I recognize that car alarm. It's the same car every time. How does this person not know how to get into their own car? We have to wait. I was on a roll too. I was about to wrap this video up, but this man can't master getting into his own car. And there we go, back to the video. Okay, so does this confirm that Ermac was always meant to be on the base roster? It definitely could be the case. Now that being said, I think it was worth the wait. Ermac has never been this crazy in a Mortal Kombat game, and his own moveset alone has like 6 different character models, right? You have him and like 4 other different spirits, so a lot of work went into this character to be sure. But at the same time, I'm just saying, whenever I log on to Mortal Kombat 1 and go to pick my character and I see this thing, it keeps staring at me, and I wonder what this thing was meant to be. It's not a random select button, it's just randomly there in the middle of the screen. Was this always meant to be Ermac, but they just didn't have time to finish him? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I know I've asked that like 5 times in this video, but this time I really mean it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Why is Ermac on this poster? Is it just because he's coming out recently and they want to tie it all together? That could make sense, because if you look closely at this poster, you can see Sub-Zero and Scorpion doing poses that they never actually do in the character select screen. So definitely some Photoshop going on here, and as a result, maybe somebody just wanted to add Ermac because he's going to be DLC very soon. That being said though, it's a bit odd that Quan Chi's not here, nor are any of the other DLC characters. I find that a bit interesting. Definitely a head scratcher to be sure, but that's about it for today's video, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below, it helps the channel out a ton, and then keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.